Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning, everybody.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Pak.
Good morning. It's easier.
Good morning,
Good morning.
Pak Suyono,
Morning.
Wira,
How
and
are
everyone is
Morning.
great always. Hopefully all you.
Morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
Okay, I have a little issue with Facebook. Okay.
Okay.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Pak Yono and
Right.
Morning.
Good morning.
Morning. Okay.
Morning. Assalamualaikum.
Good morning. Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Welcome.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
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 Good morning.
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 Dah, kopinya udah habis.
Okay.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Morning. How are you today?
Good, Miss.
Good.
Excellent.
Great.
Today we are going to have the dissemination of hybrid learning model. I don't think it is anything new to you, but probably we have not disseminated the hybrid learning model in the proper way. So let's have the session today. Before we start with everything, let's open the event with Indonesia Raya. Pak Tambah.
Thank you, Vira. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to play our national anthem. We would like to ask your cooperation to mute yourself. Thank you.
Thank you.
Back to you, Bu Ira.
Thank you, Pak Tamba. Now, hybrid learning model is one strategy of conducting our classes, which hopefully can give us more students, provide us more opportunities to get more students. So before we start, before we give the screen to Pak Yon, I would like to request
Recording in progress.
I would like to request Ibu Celestine Zainuddin as the Director of Elbelia to open the session. Ibu Celestine, the screen is yours.
Okay, thank you very much, Ira. Good morning, everybody. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, I do hope that everybody is healthy and happy.
Amin. Alhamdulillah.
Amin.
Okay, yes. I would like first of all to thank you for coming here to attend the session on how to conduct hybrid learning model for region 1, 2, and 3. Okay, I didn't realize that we have so many teachers, apparently, so we need to conduct this 3 times. Ladies and gentlemen, I know that term 3 is going to be a little bit different from the previous terms, because apparently from what I heard from the branch managers, you are going again to open the on-site learning. Am I right? Yeah. However, we can see that the online learning cannot be just forgotten. Online learning is here to stay. And then we also have this kind of learning called hybrid learning, in which we sort of combine the online and then the on-site learning. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, again, when I ask people what is hybrid learning, I sort of I've gotten so many different definitions of this. What is hybrid learning? Okay, so I do hope that by joining this session, you know how Leah, how Elbelia sees how we interpret hybrid learning. Okay, and then I do believe that hybrid learning is also here to stay. On the bright side, we in Leah, we offer so many different modes of the teaching delivery, right? We have the on-site, we have the online, and then we also have the hybrid learning. Hopefully that will also give our students the chance to choose which one that they are more comfortable with. Aside from those things, what we need to tell others is that whether they do it in a hybrid way, on-site way, online way, the results should be the same. Okay, because we do believe that the quality of the teaching should be there despite the many modes of teaching delivery that we deliver. Okay, yes, I would like to say thank you to Pak Yono and team for holding this event. I heard that they have already prepared everything, even up to the videos, sample videos of hybrid learning. I do hope that that kind of thing will help you in your teaching afterwards. And then I would like also to thank these 3 people here. Jarang loh, 3 kita lengkap hari ini. Okay, Ibu Nurinda, Pak Hari, and Pak Dipo, thank you very much for joining this session. And then I do hope, sorry, that everybody have a good time. Everybody can learn new things, and then everybody can also apply what is it that you have learned from this session to your classes. Okay, thank you very much, and then have a good training. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Bu Celestine.
Recording stopped.
Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let's have Pak Siono, who's going to talk about the details of hybrid learning model. Pak Yon, the screen is yours.
Thank you, Ibu Ira. Thank you, Beth Celestine, for opening the event, and then to all the other board of director members for being with us here today. Okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Okay. Good morning, all. This is actually the topic about hybrid learning, or it's not the first one that we held this several times, I suppose. And then there have been demand or requests of concrete or providing a concrete example of how the lesson is actually conducted. Yeah. So that is the attempt that we try to make today. Yeah. Hopefully that we are going to be able to at least provide you with a concrete example of a hybrid class. And then by no means going to be perfect, but at least it will give a idea, let's say, clear idea how it can be done. It's not the only way. There's got to be some other way, I believe. Yeah. And before we start, I just would like to thank Ibu Ade Ari Simatupang for sharing the video. Yeah, the one that you have watched. I mean, the instructor in the video is Ibu Ade Ari Simatupang. She's one of the, what do you call that? She's the branch manager of LB Lia Pajajaran, but she's also one of the senior TEPL trainer that here we have it here. Yeah, so thank you very much, Ibu Ade. Okay, let me share the screen. Okay. What do you see? Okay. Okay. Yeah, how to conduct hybrid learning model. Now let's just begin with more like a warm-up activity. Yeah, hopefully we will be able to finish everything, let's say by 11. That's the target. Yeah, hopefully we can do that. Okay, could you please go to menti.com and then use this code 70922407. Yeah. Okay, there are 2 questions, and I would like you to try to do it quickly. Okay, let's see if you can do it in 1 minute, and I'll share the result. Okay. You got 1 minute, 1 or 2 minutes. Let's see. All right. How many do we have? Okay, thank you. Thank you all. Thank you very much for participating. Let's say, now this is, I'm sharing the screen. I hope you all can see this. Yeah. So I have 2 statements here. We got 2 statements here. I'm excited about going back to in-person on-site learning. As Ibu Celestine said earlier in her opening, that starting this term, many branches will start having on-site or physical classroom, let's say. Okay, and then obviously many of us or most of us are excited about this, about going back to the class, about having student or teaching student in person instead of online or via Zoom. Okay, but it is also interesting to notice that but half probably of us prefer teaching online than teaching on site. Okay. And Bu Celestine mentioned earlier that when things have got better, when we have full on-site classes already, Leah Online is here to stay. So I suppose there might be an opportunity. There's a chance that some of us teachers might want to specialize on having the online classes only, or on-site classes only, or both, let's say on-site and online classes. Okay, so we have more options, we have more choices, and then we might want to specialize, if we would like to, let's say in one of them, depending on the need, of course. Okay, glad to know that. Now let's take a look at the second one. Oh, all right. Okay, here's the result. All right, the average. Okay. This is how it's look like. All right. So definitely these 5 people would rather teach online classes, yeah, than on site. Okay, since it offers some benefit, right? Of course. Now let's take a look at, in one word, how would you describe your experience in teaching online classes? Use one word, adjective, exhausting, demanding, challenging, or whatever that you have. Did you? Okay, practical. Oh, nice. Confusing. Okay. Complicated. Awesome. Comfortable. Exciting. Complicated. Okay. Tiring. Yeah. Convenient. Convenient. Yeah, that's nice. Awesome. Flexible. Effective. Okay. Glad to hear that. Effective. Okay. Has personal touch. Okay. Convenient. Convenient. Can agree more. Lack rapport. Okay. Lack rapport. Has personal touch. Technology savvy. Fun. Confusing. Traffic jam free. Yeah. That's one thing that I also like. Boring. All right. Okay. Awesome. Enjoyable. All right. Okay. Okay. So judging from this, we know that some are positives, many are positive, and there are some challenges as well. Yeah. And some are quite neutral, I suppose. Okay, great. Okay. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Thank you for sharing this. Thank you very much. Yeah. Let me just end that. Thank you all. Thank you for participating. Now, let me just get back to my slide. Okay. All right. Okay then. This is going to be, there are some terms that I would like, I know that you know this. Yeah, I know that you know this. But just an effort to get you involved, you know. Here we got synchronous and asynchronous, the term that we all have been familiar with now, but just to confirm, to consolidate, yeah, would you please decide which one is which? So we got asynchronous and synchronous. Okay, we have that definition, and I would like you to decide which one is which. You can just annotate. Okay, annotate. Would you please annotate? Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Okay. Great. 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 Okay. 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 Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Yeah. I guess this is too. All right then. Great. Great. Yeah. What's the point? Listen, this is very easy. Probably some of you might ask. Okay. Okay. This is just to get you involved, you know. Okay, thank you very much. Yeah. Okay. Now I know for sure that, okay, everybody knows, everybody is very well informed about this thing. Let me just clear all the drawings. Okay, thank you very much. And then let's see. Okay. Yeah. So when the synchronous is, of course, the activity takes place in real time, in which both teacher and student can expect to have immediate response from one another. That's synchronous. The session that we are having now is synchronous. I can post something and then I can expect to, I can ask you something, let's say, and then I can expect to have some kind of response very quickly, real time. Okay, and while the asynchronous is the activities can take place anytime, enabling students to study and work on the exercises on their own pace. Yeah, thank you very much. Okay, so it's very important. Okay, since like this day, I guess these two terms are really important because we apply the flipped learning model, right? And we know that some activity happens synchronously and while others happen asynchronously. Okay, thank you. Now let's moving on. Let me just clear all the drawings. Okay. Now let's move to the next one. Yeah. Now, hybrid learning. Now, this is Celestine mentioned about different definition of hybrid learning, right? Depending on the resources that you use, probably people come up with, or even experts, let's say, have different definition on about hybrid learning. I just would like you to just type in, yeah, use the, what do you call that, the chat box. We got the chat here. Now I'd like you to type in hybrid, what, let's say, in a most concise possible way, gitu. Okay, I'd like you to type in what you think hybrid learning is. You can just put keyword or key phrases, okay? Please type in the chat box, what on-site plus online. Good, Ibu Marlia, thank you very much. On-site plus online, yep, great. Okay, more. So your idea of hybrid learning, what do you think it is? Learn online and offline at the same time. Get a mix between online and on-site within same time. Ibu Siti Andela, thank you. Ibu Paiskan Rinardo, thank you. Ibu Hilda, the combination of teaching online and offline. Okay, thank you, Ibu Hilda and Eva, on-site and online. Yeah, on-site and online. Yeah. Some students attend the class in person, some others virtually. All right, Bu Anissa, thank you. Bukian on-site and online, hybrid learning. Okay, on-site and online. Have on-site and offline learning happen at the same time. Great, great. Multitasking teaching. Okay, Budina. Okay. And Krista, a class in which the student attend in the class. Okay. All right, thank you. More complicated but challenging learning. Others see others online. More complicated but okay, thank you. Thank you all. Thank you for sharing the idea. Now let's just take a look at, let's say, the definition. We are going to begin with the person who first coined the term hybrid learning. Yeah. So the term actually has been in existence, if I can say that. Okay, has been around, let's say, long before COVID-19. Okay, so this is according to Collis and Moonen. Blended learning is a hybrid of traditional face-to-face and online learning, so that instruction occurs both in the classroom and online, and where the online components become a natural extension of traditional classroom learning. Okay. And where the online component become a natural extension of traditional classroom learning. Now, if you take a look at this, blended learning is a hybrid. Now, so the term has been there, has been around since 2001, or probably even before. Yeah, definitely before COVID, before the pandemic. So it is an attempt to combine the advantages of both on-site and both on-site or in-person learning and online learning. Again, this is an attempt to leverage on both advantages or benefits of those type of learning. Therefore, many use the terms hybrid and blended learning interchangeably. Okay, so many people, when they are talking about hybrid and blended learning, they talk about the same thing. Let's say, yeah, a learning model in which they are online, combining both online and on-site, something like that. Now, in this model, typically the teaching between the on-site and online learning is roughly balanced, about 50-50. Yeah. However, okay, many view hybrid learning as a form of blended learning in which some students attend the class in person or on-site while some attend the class online, with the emphasis on having both on-site and online students go through the same learning experience. Okay, there's another view, let's say. There are many or some people see hybrid as part of the blended. It is part of the blended, with more emphasis on having a participant attending the same session online, yeah, on-site, in person, or virtually, yeah, or remotely or online. Okay. So these are the. Now, since LEA applies the flipped learning model in which students view and study the concept taught at their own pace before attending the face-to-face session, which can be either on-site or online, LEA has applied a form of blended learning. Yeah. So the kind of model that we have been using so far, the model flipped learning, to some extent, it is a type of blended learning as well. Now, so the hybrid learning here, so it's going to be, please bear with me talking about this just to make sure, because this is kind of specific, yeah? So the term blended and hybrid learning used here is specific to LEA context, referring to the face-to-face session in which all students are present in person or on-site, yeah? Or some attending on-site while others online. Okay, so this is the kind of, I just would like to make sure that everyone agrees on this, that we have this. So there are different ideas, different definition, but then this is the one that we are going to use. This is the one that we are going to adopt. Yeah. So when we're talking about hybrid learning in LEA here, we refer to that face-to-face sessions, okay, of our flipped learning session, in which some are present in person, in class, okay, while the rest are attending the session online. I hope that clear to you. So this is very specific to LEA. That the blended learning itself, okay. Well, when we're talking about blended, let's say, no, I prefer blended to hybrid. It might be referred to the fact that the face-to-face session are conducted when we have the on-site face-to-face session, everyone is present, while when we have the, let's say, online session, everybody is present online, let's say. So no student attending the session, let's say, but I mean, all students, let's see, how should I put it? What we're trying to say is that the kind of the term that we are used when we are referring to blended and then hybrid learning here is specific, context specific. Yeah, the context is specific to LEA context. So hybrid here referring to the session in which attended by in-person student, okay, in class, on site, and then some virtual. And when we're talking about the blended one, I mean everyone either attend the session, or when we are talking, so specifically refer to the on-site learning only. Yeah. So everyone, I mean specifically refer to the face-to-face session only. So during the face-to-face session, when we are talking about blended learning here at LEA, so we have everyone attend. When it is on-site, everyone attend the session on-site. When it is online, everyone attend the session online. Okay, we are going to set it that way. All right, now let's just move on. Okay, So they are two kind of. We still have face-to-face session, right? We have still face-to-face session in our learning, and there are things that are good to be done face-to-face. Yeah, I mean there are some benefits. Of course, there will be a lot of benefits, and then there are also online also has its own benefit. Okay, these are the kind of benefits. Like face-to-face session is good for establishing social presence and support, non-verbal communication, defining assignment, negotiating, diagnosing student conceptual problem, brainstorming, role play, yeah, discussion and so on. And then the online one is good for sustaining group cohesion, collaboration, and support, reflective on task discourse, critical analysis, paced learning and practice, automatic grading and multiple choice. Yeah, these are the kind of like multiple choice and then true false statement, fill in, those kind of thing are usually used in the online part here, right? The flip material usually the safeguard task. Okay. Now, why hybrid learning? So why hybrid learning? I know that probably now we know that we have this. Yeah, we have this. We got full on-site, full online, blended learning, and hybrid learning. Now the question is, why hybrid learning? It seems like it is going to be a lot more manageable if we have just full online class or full on-site class. It's going to be a lot more manageable. And I noticed that most branches actually prefer to do just that. Okay, and that is understandable. However, there might be some condition. Okay, the hybrid still offers some kind of offer advantages probably, or that other modes of learning might not have. Okay, first, it has a wider, more extensive reach. Okay, the reach is wider and more extensive. It provides choices for students to either study on site or online. So student can have those kind of choices. The second and the third one, I guess, is related. It can accommodate students with different preferences on site and online learning to be in the same class. Okay, with some outside classes, I understand that the participant probably one company might set a class, and then some student might be able to be there on site while the rest are located in different branches far in different cities, and then they might, I mean, hybrid might be the only choice for them, might be the best choice for them. And it might be, now this is important, it might be a learning mode to use, the only learning mode to use for branches with smaller classroom for conducting the on-site session where some physical restriction due to COVID-19 is still in place. Okay, when we still have that kind of restriction because of the COVID, so it's not possible to have everyone present in the same place. So it might be the only way that we use. Hopefully we have passed the worst of the COVID. Yeah, hopefully we are not have passed the worst of the COVID. So things are will only get better from now on, and hopefully there will be no more restriction. Yeah. Now let's do some little concept check, modes of learning. Okay. Now, just very quickly again, I'd like you to just take a look at this. We have the description here. So please bear in mind, this is the kind of description that adopted by us, Leah. Yeah. Okay, of course, we have some references that we use as well. We take a look at those references, and then we just adapt it and contextualize it, okay, to the condition that we have. All right. Now, would you please, now you are welcome to annotate now. We got full on-site, then full on-site, full online, blended. Okay, you can just draw the line. Thank you very much. Thank you, Anissa. Thank you. Sorry, I missed the first two person. Thank you, Misumi. Thank you, Miss Andela, Kari, Poppy. Thank you. Okay, thank you. All right. Okay, hybrid. Okay. Yep. Yeah. Okay. All right. Thanks a lot. I enjoy seeing how the line appears on the screen. Let's say different colors. Yeah, different kind of line. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay. Okay. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Now, I suppose we all now can. I would like you to stop. Yeah, the problem with annotation is that once somebody start, everyone follows suit, and then it's kind of difficult to stop. Yeah. Okay. If you don't mind, would you stop drawing, stop annotating? Okay, let me clear all the drawing. Thank you very much. Yeah, I guess everyone has already got it right. Sure, of course. Yeah, this is such a very simple concept. Yeah, so full on-site learning, all synchronous live session take place in physical classroom. That's the full on-site learning that we have here. Remember, this is specific LEA. Yeah, the context is specific to LEA context. So full on-site learning, all synchronous live session take place in physical classroom. Okay, great. And then full online learning, all synchronous lab sessions take place in virtual classroom. Usually we've been using Zoom so far. Yeah. Okay, or probably some people might just get it down or other platform. Yeah. But it take in virtual classroom, the synchronous lab session. All right. And then blended learning, some synchronous lab sessions take place in physical classroom and some in virtual classroom. That's blended. Okay, again, this is specifically LEA. Okay, and then hybrid learning, all synchronous lab session attended by some learners on site in person and some online. Now, if you take a look at blended and hybrid, what's the difference here? Take a look. The difference is that the synchronous lab session, when it takes place in physical classroom, everyone come to the class. Yeah. While when we decided to have a virtual classroom, everyone attended session virtually. There's nobody present in person or on site. Okay. Again, okay, I just would like to remind, this is the kind of definition specific to LEA context, right? Thank you. Now, Now, this is the learning spectrum from face-to-face, blended, hybrid, remote, and flexible. And then you take a look at the use of tech increases here. So the more on-site, online, the more online part, the higher the person of online has, let's say, the more ed tech, let's say, required. Yeah. Okay. And hybrid will require quite some ed tech, let's say, to make it happen. There are some few things that should be there in place. All right. Now I'm just going to go back. Okay, that's the point. That's the very basic concept. Let's just take a look at the. I understand that some of you, yeah. Today, okay, I'm glad that there are like more than 100 people registered for today's event. And the number of participants present is close to those who registered, 99. Here we got 99 people participating currently. But then, however, those who have viewed and done the flip materials, yeah, seems like not as much. Okay, not as many people have viewed and done the flip material as those who have registered. Okay, yeah. Now let's just, but I might have to show you that again, but hopefully I don't think we are going to go through the lesson plan, to go through the video, all of them, just, but I will show you again very quickly. Yeah. Okay. Let me just for those who have, yeah, okay, for those who have not, I mean, for those who have viewed and done the safeguard task. I would like you to respond to this, and then probably if you have not, you might want to do it now, but not now. Not now. We have very limited time. Yeah. Okay. You can use the chat. You can use the chat, or you can just turn on your mic. Okay, turn on your mic and then shout out your answers. Okay. I've been talking and I feel like I'm talking to myself. I haven't heard any other noise so far. I think it's any noise will be welcoming things, I guess, at this point. Okay, so if you would like to, you can just activate your microphone and then shout out your response. Okay, now let's just take a look at the question number 1. How many different stages are there? You have to start learn you have taken a look at the lesson plan, right? Okay, just shout out the response or write in the chat. 3 stages. Okay, Mrs. Wali said 3 stages. What are they?
Before face-to-face, Zoom session, and after face-to-face.
Yeah, exactly. We still use that same basic lesson planning, right? So we have before, during, and after post. Okay, yeah, while or before, while, and then post or after. Okay, great. And then the activity actually center on the face-to-face, so before face-to-face and after face-to-face. Great, great. Thank you. And then what takes place in each stage? Okay, there's a lot of things take place. Okay, but this is just very quickly. Just very quickly. Anybody can share the idea, let's say, but what take place in each stage? Okay, before. Okay, let's just begin. Okay, we got the flip material, of course, right?
Safeguard task.
We got the safeguard task. Yep. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So the learner study or view the flip material and then do the safeguard task, right, before they join the face-to-face session. Okay. And then we have face-to-face session, and of course, can name a few things that take place in a face-to-face session. Okay, so during here we got check student understanding. Okay, we got practice, reaching the TO, peer evaluating practice. Thank you. Yeah, so all those practice, discussion, let's say checking understanding. Yep, language use. Okay, yeah, things like that. Thank you very much. Yeah. All right then. Now before, okay, one specific factual thing about the lesson plan. What is the what is the skill focus of the lesson plan that we have? Speaking. Yeah. Okay, speaking. Speaking. Great. And how different is the lesson plan from the usual one? I mean, when you decide,
on-site and online. It covers on-site and online.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Who is it again? Come again, please. Okay. So we have
between on-site and online learning.
Okay. So we have basically it's the same lesson plan, right? We have the same stages, we got the same components, right? But then we add one more component, right? So in terms of the procedures, we got procedure for those present online and for those present on site. I mean for those attending the class in person, in class, and then for those attending the class remotely or online. Yeah, so we have that. But in principle, everything else is just the same. Okay, all right then. Now, let's just moving on. Now, for those who have not, let me just, who have not the opportunity to check the the what do you call that? The let's call that the flip material. Yeah, the flip material. Here we got we have shared TTD, the team here have shared the lesson plan. Yeah, here's the lesson plan. If you take a look at this, it's kind of not kind of the same. It's the same. We get the flip materials, okay, and we got before face-to-face session here, and everything is the same here, okay. And then here we've got during face-to-face session. Now we have this additional. So we add one more column for online learning student and on-site learning student. Okay, for online and the on-site one. Okay, that's how it is different. Okay. And then you might want to put the note here last side. Okay. Yeah, before exam. Okay, so this is how it looks like. Okay, this is how it looks like. The the lesson plan. So still the same lesson plan, still the same staging, still the same components, but we add one more let's say column, yeah, one more component for, so we got on-site and online learning. Okay, that's what we have. And then that's the wait. And here we get the video. I'm not going to play the video, otherwise it's going to be. But then, if you take a look at the video, okay, let's just. I'm not going to play all of the video. Now, if you take a look at this, it has been, what do you call that? Pak Tamba has edited the video and then add what do you call that? This kind of mark. So you can jump, let's say. Yeah. You can jump to from one here. Swabat, practice, invite, accept. Now you can jump to this one. Okay. Like here we've got, what is this? So we got, I don't know what was the term for this, time marker. Yeah, the time marker. So dividing the video into different parts. Okay, this is the checking, understanding of the material. This is the practice to invite, accept. The practice are divided to different acceptable activity. The invite, accept, and then here we got practice invite. Okay, yeah. Now these are the video, and this is Ibu Ade. As you see that the instructor is Ibu Ade, and then Pak Tamba edited the video, and here we got Pak Idwan provided this checklist. Yeah. For us, for all of us, yeah. Okay, for the online on the outside. Okay, now that's the flip material that I'm talking about. So for those who have not viewed this, I strongly recommend, let's say, that you go and take a look at this, because the whole thing, the whole sharing session, or the whole today dissemination is dissemination. Sorry, today dissemination is this is the core. Yeah. So please, if you have not, take a look at this later on in your own time. Okay, you can download I think it's possible for you to download the lesson plan, yeah, and the checklist as well. Okay. Now going back to this. Yeah. Now, and then I would like to thank those who have already viewed and then respond to the do the safeguard task, especially providing some ideas what to improve, what is missing. Let's say, yeah. Thank you. We learned quite a lot from that. Okay. Now, but let's just take a look at the procedures, what actually happened. Yeah. Okay. Now, this is taken directly from the checklist. This one is taken directly from the checklist. Confirmation and consolidation of the confirmation and consolidation of the flipped material actually here. Yeah, and here we get some. Here we get some. What do you call that? Procedures or activities that take place. Yeah, in the video. Okay. You got confirmation understanding of the flip materials. So this is going to be, we can use this as a personal checklist as well. Have I done that? Okay, I believe Ibu Ade did that, right? In her demo teaching or in her teaching here, and checking student understanding on the context and setting up the speaking model. Now, this is very important. Yeah, very important. And then many of us sometimes forget to do this part. So when we teach speaking, we have model dialogue. Yeah, a model of a dialogue. And then before anything else, you will have to make sure that the student know what the dialogue is about, know the speakers, let's say, kind of the setting. You have to build the setting, whether it's formal, non-formal, whether it's between friends or as teachers and students, because it will determine the kind of language, the kind of expression that you use, right? Now, this is the kind of thing. So focus on meaning the setting, to build the setting. Okay, and then practicing using the target expression to various drilling activities, from control drills to more meaningful ones. Okay, so remember, when we have speaking, there will be some target expression, and those target expression have already been flipped. Students have already viewed that, they know it, but this is the time when you actually check. We can actually make them practice and use those target expression. And then when we're talking about drilling, the drilling, let's say, normally begin with something that is so mechanical, from mechanical one, yeah, moving on to the one that is more meaningful, yeah, from control to less control. The most control one probably like the most mechanical drill, probably like repeating after the teachers, right? Responding to a short exchange or creating a longer exchange, okay? Providing a response, and then creating 2 or 3 exchanges, okay? And then to a more meaningful one, like conducting a survey, role playing, doing simulation. Those are the having discussion. Those are the more meaningful one. Yeah. Okay. Now, and then there should also performing a task to demonstrate that the TO has been achieved. Evaluating their friend's performance and making attempt. Now, this is the part that apply to both online and both on-site learning. Okay. Now, these checklists apply to both on-site and online learning. And I believe that Ibu Ade, and I have already checked your response, put a check here on this part. Okay, now this is the part that I'd like you, now the next 3 here, the next 3 statement here has more to do with hybrid. Typically it has to do with the hybrid learning model. Okay, making attempts to create interaction between on-site and online students. Okay, now for this one, I just would like to stop, and then I would like to have a feedback from you or respond from you. Did you notice or did you find a condition or a situation in which the teacher made an attempt to create interaction between on-site and the online students? Go ahead.
If I'm not mistaken, when they have to perform a dialogue, Pak. When they have to perform a dialogue, so after they finish practicing by their own, then the teacher match someone in online class with someone in on-site class to perform the dialogue.
Okay, thank you.
So
Thank
please
you.
correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, thank you.
I guess there is. I think there is at least one or two instances or occurrences in which the teacher make an effort, let's say, to create interaction between those present online and on site. Okay, thank you, Bidri. Anybody else would like to add or notice slightly different things? Yeah. Oh, sorry. Wait. Okay. Yeah, I guess there is, right? There is. Making attempts to create interaction between on-site and online student. If I'm not mistaken, Ibu Ade did try, let's say, during the practice itself, during the language practice, let's say, to have the student present on site, let's say, ask question to those present online, let's say, and to those attending the class online, and vice versa. I think there's one. And then also when it comes to feedback as well, right? Bu Ade asks those present on site, I think, to give some kind of feedback to the performance or those performing students present in class, let's say, perform a dialogue, and then have the student attending the session online, let's say, to give some kind of feedback by giving smiley or something, things like that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, he did. So this is important that this thing happen. Create interaction. So make attempts. There are one or two activities to make them interact. And what about spreading attention equally between on-site and online student? Do you think the student have spread, let's say, managed to spread the attention, roughly, let's say, roughly equally between those on-site and online students, those present on-site and online? What do you think? Anybody would like to say something about this, please? Okay, let me chat. Probably you respond to the chat. Yes, they get attention equally. Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So teacher actually make attempt. She's aware that some students are attending the event on site. Yeah. Or online. Okay. Yeah, that's tough. Yeah. Okay, that's tough. Yeah. Agree. Can agree more. Cannot agree more. Okay. Is there a moment in which the student focus more on the on-site student or online student? Let's say a teacher address, let's say, like the online student. Okay, yes, there is. Yeah. Okay. So it seems like it's unavoidable, right, for the teacher to actually have moments, let's say, to address only the on-site student. Yeah, and shift the focus to the online student. Okay. All right, great. But it's not a bad thing, right? It's a good thing. So, okay. All right, good. Now, what about this one? Yeah. Everyone say tough. Agree, it's tough. Okay. Okay, answering all instructions are clearly understood by both on-site and online students. Yes, I guess. Okay. Yeah. See that. Okay. All right. So again, this okay. Here we got a checklist. This checklist is actually used to take a look. Let's say to help us stay focused. Let's say when we know what to look at. Let's say when we watch the video, yeah, to help us get that. But at the same time, it can also serve as our own checklist. Let's say later on when we have our own class, let's say when we conduct our own teaching. All right. Now let's just move on to the next one. Now if you take a look at the next one here, what about this? Exploring the language, exploring the topic, personalizing the language content of the reading, showcasing student work. This is the part that usually take place after face-to-face session. After face-to-face session, you move on to the extension or up. Okay. And then, did you see it take place in the video, on the video? It did? Really? No, I didn't. No, okay. No. Okay. All right. I guess so, a little bit. Okay, a little bit. All right, thank you. Okay, thank you. Didn't Mares? Nope. Or Mares said nope. It did not happen. It didn't fix. I don't think so. Okay, Krista said I don't think so. All right, thank you. Okay, all right, okay. Yeah, okay, not in the video, right? If you watch the video, it seems like after the student perform and then give some kind of feedback, giving a smile or stars, if I'm mistaken. Let's say, okay, that will be it. The student wrap up the session and then end the session, right? I mean, the teacher ended the session, wrap up and ended the session. It seems like this part is missing, but this serves as a reminder, let's say, remember, to provide them. But what about the lesson plan? Did the lesson plan actually mention anything, any activity for the after face-to-face session? Did the lesson plan? Yes, it was mentioned. Yeah, it is mentioned in the lesson plan. Yes, yes. Maybe, yes, actually in the lesson plan, yes. The teacher actually include one activity, yeah. I guess it's to explore the language in the lesson plan.
Student must make invitations for their friends. That was the after Zoom task.
Yeah, Pak Iskandar.
Student must make invitations to announce happy event and post it somewhere where student can get can read other friends' invitation. So it's the after Zoom task is making.
Yeah, exactly. That's the one. That's the activity written in the lesson plan. Yeah, exactly. Okay, but you didn't see it done in the execution, right?
Yeah, no.
Did you? No, I did not. Yeah, it is mentioned. Okay, ideally, yeah, and post it to, okay, yeah, happy event, yeah, like the invitation. So I guess it's explore the topic and the language as well, writing the kind of invitation to a happy event. Like, okay, I'm going to have, what's happy event? I don't know, is it common for us to actually have a barbecue? I have never attended any barbecue party. I wish somebody could invite me, to a barbecue party. I have never attended one, but it seems like it's quite common. It has to do with the culture, yeah. And instead of barbecuing, I guess we have just selamatan, right? Tumpengan, yeah. It's kind of different. Okay, I don't know. Later on, probably. Okay, yeah. That's what I would like. So you can use this what do you call that? Checklist. Okay, as our personal checklist as well, to help us remember the point, let's say, to be included in our lesson plan. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so those who have not viewed watch the video, check the lesson plan, I strongly recommend that you do so. Yeah. Okay, because that's all about the training. Now, I'm just going to wrap up a little bit. Now let's just take a look at the technical aspect here, more on technical things, not about the teaching part. Here we get the class. We know that we all agree that there are some equipment that should be in place, let's say, for the hybrid learning to take place properly. Yeah. Okay. Now let's just take a look at this. So these are the kind of equipment needs to be in the classroom. okay, the monitors to allow the instructor to see remote student as though they were in class. Okay, so it will make the teacher aware all the time that they have some participant attending the event, attending the session virtually, remotely. Okay, and then cameras to allow virtual student to see the instructor and the instructor as he or she moves throughout the classroom. Ideally, we are talking about the ideal thing. And individual webcams might also be installed for such student to have face-to-face interaction with remote participant. All right. So this camera and audio. Audio, here we got a lapel. I think this is a lapel microphone for the instructor. The lapel microphone is the kind of microphone attached to the collar of the teacher's collar.
In bahasa lavalier microphone, I think.
Lavalier. Oh, okay. In bahasa Indonesia. So it is attached, right? To yeah, this was this is kind of lapel microphone for the instruction, and then we got omnidirectional microphone. It's very much like on a stage or something, omnidirectional, allowing online students to clearly hear the instructors and their in-class peers. Okay, so online student will be able to hear the instruction and in-class peers, their peers. And speakers to allow the instructor and in-class participant to hear remote student as well. This should be a speaker. Okay, so this is the audio. There's quite a lot, let's say, involved in the audio. And then the bandwidth, of course, classroom will require a reliable wired internet connection with the necessary dedicated bandwidth. So it will not, so the connection will remain stable. And when we don't have enough bandwidth, it can be very frustrating teaching online, you know. Yeah. And then for the remote participant equipment, here we got computer as well. So participant, of course, will need an up-to-date computer with internet access, and then they need camera as well. Okay, the ability of the instructor to see the participant is key to the equal learning experience. Okay, student will need to have and use a camera, either a USB recommended or laptop integrated webcam. Yeah, and then the audio, in order to hear and speak with the instruction and other class participant, remote participant need to have microphone and speaker or headphones or a headset. Okay, I think this should not be a problem since we've been doing it. I mean, when it comes to remote participant equipment, it should not be a problem because we've been doing online classes for quite a while, almost 2 years, let's say, almost more than 2 years, and then so they are already with us. But for this classroom equipment, it might be a little a problem. And then this is setting up interaction before the class begins. This is a few things that we have to remember. Setting up interaction before the class begins. Make sure remote participants know they will be expected to be on camera and microphone for the duration of the class. So remember, how long is our class? 90 minutes, right? Yeah, 1.5 hours. 90 minutes, and then make sure that they all have the microphone and the camera on all the time during those 90 minutes. And welcome and recognize remote students as they enter the class. So you have to welcome and greet them, just things that we normally do with the in-person or in-person in-class students. And create a pre-class activity that encourages learners to become familiar with the hybrid environment and interactive tools. Probably this is something that, especially this is important when we have the hybrid for the first time, probably when the students are experiencing having the hybrid classes for the first time, to make them aware of the tool available. So it's like kind of warm-up activities. And then consider icebreaker activities that involve both remote and in-class participants. Icebreaker. It goes without saying, this is something that we do. It is part of the, when we've been teaching at LEA for quite a while, it's a second nature. So before we do anything else, before we start with a more serious stuff, we usually begin with this, the icebreaker activities. Yeah. Okay. Putting student at ease, things like that. Now, Now during the class, remember your participants, because you are present in the class, right? It is easy to forget that we have some students following the event live or virtually. Okay, and keep track of your platform's interactive tools. So encourage participants to use the chat panel to submit questions or make comments. Use the raise hand option if available. It is available in Zoom, right? To take questions from remote participant and so on. So when you ask question classically, let's say to the whole class, so remember those attending the session online as well. Yeah, so that to make sure that they also participate. Use your platform interactive tool. So like digital whiteboarding and annotation tool in particular can provide a richer learning experience and purchase for engagement for units, regardless of their location. Nah. Okay. Okay. Now that's basically that. Yeah. That's all that I have. So the goal that I would like to achieve from today's session is that we all at least have clearer ideas of how hybrid learning model can be done, let's say, can be conducted one way. At least there's one concrete example of how to conduct hybrid learning. Okay. Now I think I'm open. We can have. Okay, that's good. It's 11:43. Now we can have question and answer session. Okay, I would like you to, if you have a question, now I would like you to just raise your hand or just probably turn on your what do you call that? Your microphone. Yeah, and then ask the question. Or if you'd like to, you can type in the you can type in the question in the chat box. Yeah, and I would like to have other TD team to check on the chat box, or say if there's any question from the participant. Okay, waiting for question or response. Okay, let me. I'm looking at the. I'm now looking at the chat box here. We have question from Ibu Siti Andela. Can we use those in-ear Bluetooth device for hybrid, or better to use for the general speaker, so everyone in the classroom can hear what's going on online as well? Okay, okay. Thank you, Bu Andela. Can we use that now? So we have things that. What do you call that? We have taken a look at the audio. Audio is definitely a big part here, a big part in teaching. If there is no audio, there won't be anything going on, let's say. And then we have, the thing is, we have to come up with we have to have a device that enable everyone, yeah, to be able to listen to their instructor or to the teacher clearly. It will be especially for those attending the session on online. And then what about, okay, and then ideally we have that omnidirectional what do you call that, a microphone that will be able to catch anybody saying anything in the classroom regardless of the particular spot, let's say, so that everything said or spoken in the class can be heard by those attending the session online or remotely. But it might be too much, let's say, it might be too costly, and then we can always use resources that we have. And then if you take a look at Ibu Ade, let's say, he used the, what do we call that? I think earbud or something, yeah. Wireless microphone, wireless earbud, and then she just move around, so she can move around, and then while moving around, the student online can still hear it. Yeah, and then the ear Bluetooth device for hybrid. Yeah, so definitely you can try. And then one thing that we have to really do here is that to make sure that it really works, do sound checks first. Okay, you use different devices, make sure that you do sound check, and then make sure that everyone can hear it just fine. And helps one student when you do the sound check, helps those present in class to say something and check with those online, let's say, whether they can hear it. Yeah, why not? So yes, I believe you can do. You can try it. We can use it. Do sound check, and then you can try different things. It's a process, you know. It's a process, and then just so you have to be on the lookout all the time, to be on the lookout, and then see which one actually works and which one that does not work. Yeah. Okay.
We have a question from I don't know, is it Bapak atau Ibu Maresoplani, Pak Yon?
Pak Mares is
the hybrid learning applied for all levels or only GA? What about TP classes and CV?
Okay. In principle, it can be applied to either let's say to all program. Principle. In principle, we can apply that to all. Yeah. It really depends on the condition that we have. But if you believe that, yeah, but it will be difficult. But we won't recommend to use this kind of hybrid learning for children, I guess, right? For children classes, is going to be too demanding, a little bit too difficult, I guess. But with adult student, I guess, starting from teens, let's say, should okay. Yeah.
Okay. Another question from Miss Derry from Galaxy. Nowadays, we have to economize in any day or in any day-to-day aspects of a branch. What do you recommend for us in a branch about this hybrid learning?
Okay. Okay. Learn from those who have already conducted hybrid learning. I guess best practices, let's say, perhaps we have not really got the best practices yet, but at least branches who have conducted hybrid learning. For example, the one that I know so far is Pajajaran, and they just try to make do with any, you know, devices that available to them. Yeah. So, for example, like instead of using the separate camera, let's say, probably they use or camera or microphone. They use cell phone, smartphone, let's say, integrate smartphone as well, serving as both the camera and the cell phone. So we can really, what do you call it? It will not be ideal. Definitely, it will not be ideal. But then, under emergency condition, let's say, there is still things that we can actually. There are still things that can be done. Yeah, that can be done using the very most limited resources. I heard that, for example, like camera. Ideally, we have camera that follows student movement. For example, let's say so the camera so that that follow teachers' movement. Okay, so when teachers move from left to right to back to the front, I mean, we have that kind of dynamic camera. But perhaps we might not have that. We have to make do with the one that is set fixed in the corner. Yeah, so at least those attending the student online can still see the whole class. So what's going on in the whole class? Fixes in the corner, on the left or on the right, or probably at the back. It's fixed there, and then you share that in the Zoom. Yeah, and then so they can still see what's going on in the class. Yeah, so just try to make the best of any devices that we have.
Okay. We have another question from Mrs. Wall. Okay, what are the tips to spread our attention equally for on-site and online students, especially when there are students who have bad internet connections? Do all branches and students have perfect tech equipment, and also not all teachers tech savvy and can be teacher and Zoom operator in the same time?
Okay, all right, that's quite a long question. The one that I question is that okay, what about those who have bad connection and they are unable to have the computer to be on camera, for example, yeah, and yeah, I know that the tip. Okay, when we have decided that we are going to have a hybrid class, and then we have a number of activities or procedures that we are going to conduct during the lesson, and then we have the same procedure, the same activity is actually put in the what do you call that, in the lesson plan, right? So when we are doing the planning, starting from the planning stage, we are aware that we are going to face those two groups in class and then online. Now, having that kind of awareness may help, yeah, at the stages, and then when we are executing the lesson plan, we make sure that we are aware of the presence of those person on site, yeah. Sorry, not also online, I mean. Okay, and then what about those who do not have? What about those who do not have a stable internet connection? I'm afraid there is not much that we can do about that, because it seems like having a stable internet connection in this kind of mode is a must, I guess. If the internet connection is not stable, I'm afraid the learning might still happen, but it will not be what to call effective. Probably it will not be maximized, yeah. And I'm afraid there's not much that we can do about this. And then the question about can the teacher teach and be a Zoom operator at the same time? Is that's also one of the question, right? Unfortunately, yes, we have to. It's not the question whether we cannot or not. We have to. We cannot expect to have somebody else or extra help, let's say, to operate the Zoom, for example, for us. Yeah, when we here at LIA, when we have our class, let's say we don't have assistant. It's going to be nice if we have one, but then we have to do everything by ourselves, actually. Yeah, that's going to be a big challenge. Yeah, and then when we are saying about, okay, we are not all tech savvy teachers, let's say, not all teachers are tech savvy. Okay, if we know that we are not that tech savvy yet, I'm not tech savvy myself. Yeah, and we know that at least recognizing, acknowledging that, okay, I'm not that tech savvy. It's a good start. At least recognizing that is a good start. So the next thing that we do is just do something about it. Yeah, I'll do something about it. Get familiar, let's say, with the kind of tech that is used, let's say, to conduct this kind of a class. Spend some time. Ask around, let's say. Yeah, ask around. Let's say your peers will be the best source usually. Okay, I guess that's what I can tell.
Pak Yono, can I ask a question, Pak Yono?
Oh, yes, sure. Ibu Junita, go ahead.
What do you call it? The video is about speaking, right? My concern is my concern is when we have to teach grammar and it is lower level to weak students. Yep. What we do in class is we observe students and we help our students to understand.
Yep.
But it will be very difficult to divide our attention if the weak students are in class and also in online.
Yeah. Okay.
What do we have to do if that happens? I think it will happen.
Yeah, sure. It will happen. Yeah. You get this kind of difficulty. If something can happen, it will happen. It's only a matter of time. Okay. Okay. Now with in-class student, when we can probably, it's going to be a lot easier for us to actually notice those who need extra help, let's say, or extra support, let's say, and we can probably just spend some time dedicating or our attention to that particular student, let's say, the one that is struggling. So should not be that difficult for those present, for those in person, for those attending the session on site. But what about those online? Even the what was being aware or recognizing that they are even, we might not even aware, let's say, that they are struggling. But then I guess what I can say is that as we get to know our student better, we can always do some kind of individual check. Yeah, we can ask, we can check, let's say, we can just call out name. We can call out their name as if they were present, let's say, inside. Call name, let's say, Tamba, what do you know about this? Tamba, what's the answer to this? And then see how they respond. They might be, okay, so we know that Tamba has a problem with that particular language point. And then, yeah, I think we can still shift our attention to that particular student. But in this case, it means that other will also pay attention. Other will also follow what the teacher, I mean, it's not going to be kind of difficult to just specifically talk to Tamba when Tamba is present on site, let's say. Other on site most likely will also listen to that. It will not be, I think that's one of the challenges, Ibu Junita, but at least we can, I think it can still be done. But then when it comes to the treatment part, perhaps, yeah, it's going to be very difficult to specifically address that particular student only without having other student listen to that teacher's treatment for that specific student.
Yeah, because it will lower the confidence of the student.
Yeah, right? Agree. Especially, but then, yeah, one thing that probably we should avoid doing is that being too obvious, especially being explicit, let's say, about telling your student, it seems like Tamba, it seems like you have problem with this type of grammar, for example. Yeah. So, or even when you call that particular student out, let's say, it might, some probably might what do you call that? Kind of subconscious, let's say, okay, that student is picking on me, let's say, probably I'm struggling and so on. Okay, it can be demotivating. Yeah, I agree, but those are the kind of thing. But so, okay, try different thing, know your student, okay, and then there will always be, that kind of things difficult that we cannot really avoid. But then if you really have time, if you really want to go extra mile, let's say, and you want to reach out to that student, you might be able to do it using different channel, but it will demands a lot. Yeah, you have to consider your own well-being as well. Okay, I'm talking about outside the session.
Yeah. Can I ask you another question? I promise this will be the last question. One of the problem is also students' engagement.
Yeah,
we have to engage the both students in class and in online. There are some students who do not want to speak online. Is there any tips so they can interact with their student, their friends in class? Thank you, Pak.
Thank you, Ibu. Okay. We have some. We can now. We have. I guess everyone is familiar with the term bring your own device thing, right? BOYD things, right? And then student coming in person, usually they also have their cell phone with them, right? And then one way of doing it probably by using one of the some application that enable them to interact, to cooperate, or to collaborate. Yeah, but then we will need device. It's going to be nice if we and I understand that most students have that. I mean, at least they have smartphone, and then we just make use of that. You can create Padlet activities in Padlet, post in Padlet, have them comment. You can have even game like Padlet is one, or Padlet, oh no, not Padlet. Yeah, like Mentimeter, survey, other interactive tools like Kahoot, let's say. Yeah, we can try to make use some application that actually enable them to interact. So, but then the problem is that the challenge is that they will have to use their device. They have device. Yeah, that is one way, I guess.
Yeah.
And we can always try different ways. And then remember, it's new for all of us. It's new, and then we can just come. We think something different way of doing it. Try it out. I encourage you all to try it out. I say, will this work? Will that work? Try it out. Try it out, and then spend some time to reflect on it and see how it works. Yeah,
or
and
just
make
force
some
them,
changes.
Right?
Yeah.
Or just force them to interact with their friends in class. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, Nearpod, Diana mentioned Nearpod. Yeah. Okay. Anything else?
Yeah, another question from Pak Iskandar Dinarto. Probably it's also related to what you mentioned earlier. How about writing a lesson? Any suggestion to write collaboratively?
Write collaboratively. Oh, I have just attended. I attended this weekend. Attended a webinar by Trinity. Webinar on language. I think one of this is collaborative learning. Okay. When it comes to writing, writing is something that is quite personal. Actually, it's personal, but it's not impossible. In fact, it is very possible to have some kind of collaborative writing. And then if you are thinking about, let's say, platforms or apps that we can use for them to write collaboratively, let's say one simple let's say tools that we've been using here at TTD as well is what do you call that, Tama? Google Word.
Google Docs, Pak. Yeah.
Google Docs, not Google Word. Google Docs, my goodness. Google Docs. Yeah. You can just set up Google Docs, or like it or not, you will have to put them in group and then set up Google Word, then accessible to those particular number of students. And then give them ideas, let them brainstorm, let's say, let them build the skeleton, let's say, and then develop the content of the writing content. Yeah. And yeah. And it is still be possible. Yeah. So the thing is, when they are in class, they do not usually have the laptop. They only have the what do you call that? The smartphone. It can also be done via this smartphone, but it will not be as effective as the laptop, of course. Yeah. But smartphone can also be used. Especially tab, let's say tab is even better. Yeah, yeah, it's still possible. But then when we're talking about classes, let's say if it is easier for you to have students inside on-site, in class, in class, on-site, in person, let's say, to actually collaborate with those present on-site as well, is going to be easier. Why not? Let's just try it out. Yeah, try it out, and then let those, let's say, since they are ready with a laptop and all, those attending attending the session online, let them collaborate with those also who also attend the lesson online. That also can be done. And then only when, let's say, during the presentation, probably when they share the result of their work or they post their work, you can then make them, collaborate, interact between on-site and online student. But when working on a project, and if you believe that is going to be simpler, it's going to be easier just to have those present inside with other person on with other that present on site, just do that. Why not? Okay. Right then, I guess it's, what time is it now? It's 11. Yeah, as you know that the invitation said that we are going to start at 11, and I'm glad, I'm very happy that 11 past 11, just 17 past 11, and then we are done with our session. Yeah, well, I'm very glad. So I just would like to let me just wrap it up then. Let me just wrap it up. Okay, so once more, I just would like you to reiterate, let's say, that this is not something new. This is not something new for us. The online learning things. Yeah, we've been having this kind of session for a number of times, and then but so far there haven't been any concrete example, on how it should be conducted, especially when it comes to the hybrid learning one. And so what we have attempted to do, let's say, this morning, is that to provide you with at least one concrete example of a hybrid learning. We got the lesson plan, we got the video, and so for those who have not viewed those flip material, I strongly recommend that you do so. Okay. And another thing is that, okay, I receive feedback or comment from the, what do you call the safeguard task, let's say, about things that is missing, about things that should improve. I noticed that some say something like, oh, the lesson is kind of boring, it's not exciting, it's not, let's say there should be more apps used, let's say there should be more activities. So those are the kind of things. So it means that when you see that example, so I just would like you to be able to see, okay, this is the way how to do it. Let's say at least a general guidelines on how doing it, something to start with, and then the fact that you are able to see there are things that we can improve. There are different areas that we can do a little bit differently. There are activities that we can include. There are other apps that we could have used, let's say, to improve the interaction, to improve student engagement. Please do so. Yeah, please do so. So I would recommend you to try it out yourself if you do have your class, and then if you believe that there are apps that could have been used, or you believe that you could have do it differently, you have done it differently, and then it will be more efficient. Let's say, please try it. I encourage you to do it, just to try it. Yeah. And with that, I would like to thank you all for attending the session. I really hope that you actually learned something, or there's something to take home, to take away with. Yeah. Okay. And thank you for bearing with me. Thank you very much. Yeah, I hope it can be something that can be quite useful. Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you all.
Bye.
Thank you, Pa.
Thank you. Yeah, I know that it will answer all your questions. Let's say it will not satisfy your, what do you call that, your curiosity. But that's the point. Yeah, You stay curious. You stay, what do you call that? So that way you will conduct more inquiries on your own. Yeah. You find things. Okay. So thank you all. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Pak Yono. Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye everyone.
Thank you, sir. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you. You all have earned your lunch. I really hope that, yeah, normally when we have exercises like this, yeah, lunch is usually provided, right? It's lunchtime.
Thank you, Pak Yono. Bye, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Disposal.
Thank you, Pak Yono. Thank you. Thank you, Pak.
See you tomorrow. See you later. Bye bye.
Thank you, Pak Yono.
Yo, thank you, Bu Ratna. Thank you. It's nice to see you.
Yeah.